never have to use it, but something tells me I will. Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Now get out! Now get out!
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Ah, much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here.
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a...
Sounds...
Don't judge a book by its cover.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont?
Most locals go by foot, or by boat. I've got the latter sorted.
You're too kind, Johan.
Take this map.
Oh.
No, no.
Oh, before you go.
Don't worry about that. We'll meet again, Mr. Reed.
Don't do that again.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was...
Private investigator, you say? Well...
If I may ask, what happened to your son? Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried...
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know mine. Albert's disappearance is the work of
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying...
Another newcomer with another problem.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing and no one...
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouther.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police, but now... Those filthy migrants occupy half this...
So they're just...
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. This not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Mr. Throgmorton.
What makes you think you can do it?
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss.
Vera.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What is...
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. Vera means fine. I was saying...
Please forgive the question, but...
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. My father united with a certain royal family.
I need to know more about what happened at...
Tane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. This fisherman supposedly brought him to the house, and then left to call me. But
anything else?
Clearly, something suspicious occurred inside the house.
Where's the house where this...
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton.
Find my son, newcomer, and be...
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Hello? It's okay.
Oh,
I want to know what happened here.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing.
Then what?
And he woke up, and after that, I don't remember a thing, just...
Tell me about you.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the
Where are all the other guys?
that's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside, and I have no idea where Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to.
Do you know how Paul...
I don't know. When I pulled myself to...
Who is this?
Outsider, show some respect. Kay is our lord.
Sorry. I'll leave you to...
Please.
I don't know yet, Will. Choo-choo. Ahem. Choo-choo. Ahem. Choo-choo. Ahem. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. Five cards short of a full house. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here. Never seen knives like this before. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So that's what it...
Glenna, Nehri, Glenna, Gebheil, Nugunlein, Haften.
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee.
What's happening?
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
What?
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled.
My head! I still hear those voices. My head! I still hear those voices.
Let's see what you find,
It
newcomer.
would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this. It would take tremendous effort to move this thing. Let alone toss. It over like this.
Yeah. I still hear those voices.
The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for. Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed. Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
I gave you clear instructions, did I not?
I've said everything I know.
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong. There's something in the... The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far. The door won't budge. One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have...
No.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but...
No.
My condolences.
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much. Tell me you know who did it. I want to look him...
I don't know exactly.
What kind of
A thorough one.
Fine. No one leaves the port until then. Fine.
Mr. Throgmorton,
What?
You've
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. I've commissioned a few studies on them.
Yeah. Well, I
Try to avoid them when possible.
Bye.
Now get out!
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
Stay alert! Monsters lurk underground.
Mr. Carpenter's
everywhere.
Get away with this darn port closure. Welcome to Under the...
I've seen some.
So you met a wild beast. No, they arrived. If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. Remember, better to be...
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis.
Yeah, even if I know...
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Al... So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you had
to rock. That would explain the blood. Fine.
So, smart man. Bye.
You want a drink? You want a drink?
Come.
You're some kind...
Yes.
Really?
Not so fast, newcomer.
All right,
And I'll make it easy
some other time.
as you.
What the? Get the... Oh.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Start at the beginning.
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still...
Come on, Lewis.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much... But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us.
What kind of...
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Want to spit on me, whisper to your friends?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just...
Innsmouthers' bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even...
I can't remember it. When he woke, and me covered in blood, I had no idea what happened, though I suspect...
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont backs. Always setting people against us.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say.
You mentioned a grand family.
So you're...
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition. There's the Carpenters, who control most of the city's underworld. The Blackwoods, who share kin with
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone...
I think I've got...
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is. Have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
This is not exactly cut and dry.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds.
You think you're the first person to offer me a bribe?
Please, Mr. Reed.
Don't try my patience further, Mr. Flynn.
Please, I told you the truth, I swear. Please, I told you the truth, I swear.
You want a drink?
Just as I suspected, the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for your son's murder. Seems like he had a bone to pick with your family.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. Justice, bittersweet as it is.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you.
Yes, you've earned it. Gay to think a newcomer barely off the boat, but I digress. Remind me.
I'm looking into an outbreak of erratic behavior and madness.
Indeed. An hour ago, I funded an expedition.
Do these cases of hysteria...
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar nightmares. Indeed, Professor Doe, the expedition leader, complained of them herself.
Waterlogged ruins with unmapped...
Her words exactly. Shipper...
A geological expedition?
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it.
You mentioned the flood. You think it's more than just a...
You weren't here, Mr. Reed. What happened?
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert...
It does.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on.
What about my expense?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, you've earned some compensation. I'll also include a fair advance. The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed. After the flood, Oakmont returned to bartering.
If I'm going to look into this...
I'll give you the address of the expedition's headquarters.
That's all you can tell.
Let me be clear, Reed.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throgmorton. I just meant the more
I am a busy man. I funded the research, but left all preparation. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. I gave you clear instructions, did I not?